Alright, we're going to look at Angela's freestyle above water. Good start there, good dolphins. The one thing that I notice is that you tend to bounce a little bit with the stroke, and you can kind of see it there, as you can kind of see that head kind of dip a little bit. The one thing that we talked about this week that I think is going to help you a lot is thinking about the head position and keeping that head in a steady position the entire time. The other thing is you can kind of see there where my hand is kind of pointed out. And we talked about bringing that hand down, keeping it in line with the arm. And I think that's going to help you get a longer stroke, especially when you get into more of a distance freestyle. The other thing that I noticed is that you tend to breathe a pretty long time. So what I mean by that is right here I want to start that breath, and then when the arm starts coming up, that's when I want to start dropping the head in. Because what happens is if I follow that hand, you can see you're looking at that hand. When I follow that hand, if my hand is turned out, now my body is going in that direction. So what happens is I end up having a stroke that goes back and forth instead of staying on the axis and just rotating. And that's a big, that's a thing that I think you've already made some great positive changes this week on. The kick is good and steady. That's great because that's motoring that stroke. I just think you want to watch the swinging of that arm around to the side. You can kind of see that there. There's my arm. It's swinging around. Remember, we want to lift up. Right here would be lifting up, keeping the hand more in towards the body, and then extending out. And you can kind of see with the head position, now my head's coming up more out, and as this arm comes around, you can see there my head is now going back down. And so that's just something that you need to spend a little bit more time on, especially when you do longer sets in practice. You're gonna notice a difference because you're gonna get tired and probably revert back to this. So it's one thing I want you to focus a little bit more on. But overall, great job. Okay, we have Angela's freestyle underwater. The dolphin kicks. The one thing I see you doing pretty well at the start was the head position. The head position was down in the zero position, which is great. But as you kept going along, you can kind of see, now I got to bring my head up. And when I go to breathe, now I usually change my head position. There you can kind of see it. My head's changed. So you remember, we want to stay in the zero position. When we go to breathe, we just want to turn the head barely to the side, get that breath quick, and get the head back in. The other thing that I'm noticing is as my hand enters right there, I want to start bending with that elbow and creating a paddle with my elbow to my hand. Right there you can kind of see you're staying straight, and now I'm bending the elbow, but I'm bending underneath my body. So what's happening is, and I'm kind of bringing that elbow into the body. So I'm kind of picking my head up, my body's coming up more now, and now I'm extending out, but it's creating more of a bounce situation with my stroke. And part of that can also be affected by the kick, and you can kind of see you're kicking a lot from the knee. And so when I start making a short recovery underwater like that, and the knee in that position, it creates more of a bounce. So I'd like to see you get more extended out. So extend out here, but now I want to bend from that elbow. Bend right now, bend from that elbow, and get that catch. And that's the main thing I think you need to work on underwater, is that and trying to make that kick a little bit more compact. But great job, and keep up the good work.